Light up the discussion on Florida upcoming ballot showdown. Join us as we discuss the fiery clash between the pot legalization and the abortion rights shape the state political landscape.
Let's go.
Well, you can't make this shit up, David. Florida faces a pivotal ballot measures and recreational marijuana and abortion rights this November. But an exclusive poll reveals uncertain voter sentiment, emphasizing the uphill battle for both actual initiatives. What do you say, David?
It is uphill based on the predictive modeling that I've seen in about maybe, I think it's been a week now. The ballot initiatives for both marijuana and for abortion here in Florida will not meet that 60% threshold.
Oh, that's interesting because I would have thought that the marijuana would at least. I think the marijuana has a better shot than the abortion here in Florida. But again, goes back to another episode when we were talking. Republicans have been truly on the offense, and their challenges, I think, brought awareness to the language that was being used.
Correct.
And the fact that we've been doing that voter registration, we're trying to make sure that we get those voters out. And if you're going to actually start taking that measurement on Florida, right, you're going to have to see how much work have we already done.
Mhm.
Is language in there? Sure, the Supreme Court kind of did us a favor and said, no, it's not our job to get into that, but it reads right and we'll put it on there. But we can still challenge the word viability. So as we challenge that word, that's helping us because a lot of people will say, when is viability? Since we don't have a defined, are we going to give them too much leeway on this? And then that's a reason to vote against it, maybe. Marijuana, um, the recreational portion, I think we're seeing what's going on in other states right now, and the higher hospitalization, the results that are coming out of Oregon and Washington.
Mhm.
We're starting to see that, and I think it's bringing concern that, hey, our roads are, our insurance issues. Are we going to be, really putting another, task on our insurance prices by allowing people to use recreational marijuana? And I think we're seeing more concern, more people kind of looking at, not just the issue on the ballot, but the results that will happen.
Right. In regards to this particular article, there was a poll of about 1,000 adult Floridians. And again, as you were stating, the polling showed that the 60% threshold was not met. And regards to marijuana, uh, that's not really one of my major issues. As a matter of fact, now that I'm older, I'm like, I can't stand the smell of it. Believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
If I was like maybe 30 years younger, I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. But now I'm like,
Well, David, it was blended with smoke. Like, think
oh,
about it. When you were growing up and I was growing up,
right.
you had smokers out the galore, and then
That
you
is
had,
true.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you couldn't really smell marijuana. Now you have
And
so
now,
few smokers. When
and then when you do
you
smell it,
smell it, you're like, oh wow,
right.
I didn't realize it smelled that poor. Like, oh,
Right. I don't know. Maybe because I'm older, it's just that pungent smell, and I smell it coming out of people's cars, even when I'm driving past. And I was like, this is not good at all. Now, as far as the abortion Amendment 4, I believe this poll was just before Arizona's Supreme Court ruled that the 1863 law banning abortions in most cases, except to save the life of the female, um, was illegal. Abortions were illegal. And so that there's been national backlash in regards to that ruling. So since that time, since the time of the poll to now, this is what, mid-April, April 18th. We have the 6 week abortion ban kicking in May 1st here in Florida. The numbers may change.
Yeah, but you know the good thing in this with the 6 week ban, right?
Mhm.
Again, it's messaging. The only thing that people have heard so far is that the 15-week ban was supported by the court system.
Mhm.
They're not hearing the part that you're saying, David, that, hey, because the 15-week ban was supported, that 6 week that came the next legislative session is now going to be the one that actually gets put into effect. So,
Exactly.
again, messaging really
Bingo.
matters and what is being said, and it's going to be a lot of information on our local media that's going to try to push that out, but people don't get their typical news there anymore,
Anymore.
and they're starting to become very partisan in what they're reading. So I would say, look, this is going to have a big challenge, and the people that are going to spearhead this are going to be your Anna Escamanis, those people that actually take, you know, that that aren't shy to say the things. What messaging will she use?
Right.
People, a lot of people don't are starting to get weary on how this is a women's health issue.
Mhm.
It's been said long enough where sometimes things start to get into the head, and you go, you know what? Maybe it's not. Hey, we had global warming when it all started, and then it
That's
changed to this,
climate
and then
change.
now it's climate
Right.
change, and where is it going to be? You can't keep the same messaging too long. So what will the messaging be?
Mhm.
That's going to be the key.
As I've stated in Pat's podcast, that as you're saying right now, the messaging has to expand, especially for those who are on the fence. We've got independents in this particular poll who are kind of 50-50. And for me, as I stated, in I think it was one of the David Washington shows, I didn't sign the petition, but I'll vote for the amendment. And I said I did not sign the petition to put Amendment 4 on the ballot is because it did not go far enough. I understand that it has to be narrow in scope to the subject matter in order for the ballot initiative to meet the approval of the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the conversations with those individuals who are advocating for the ballot initiative, they did not grasp, in my conversations,
Mm-hmm.
the issue of privacy,
Privacy.
privacy of information versus privacy of the individual, which I was more focused about. Had no understanding. I'm saying there's a slippery slope that we're going down. And that was pretty much the basis for the decision to move forward with to uphold the 15-week ban, thus triggering the 6 week ban
Mm-hmm.
May 1st, 2024.
Well, again, it's going to turn out to, how it's handled. It's going to be on the ballot. There's nothing that can stop that now, and it's going to be more court challenges. Even if it does meet the 60% threshold, um, we know how that works. With other legislation that needed
Right.
to be defined. Look,
Right.
we had the felon issue. It was
Right.
not defined well enough, so
Return citizens.
we said, look, as a state, we said, look, give them their right to vote, and then it's came back and they said, okay, well, we've given them the right to vote, but we're also going to say that they have to have
satisfied
satisfied their entire
terms of
terms
their
of their hey,
incarceration.
no probation, make sure they paid their fines. um, and then we had people out of state saying let's pay their fines for them. Okay, so again, this is going to be one of those things we're going to see a lot of challenge. But David, again, I'm not going to vote for it because I don't like the term viability, because I think that we're advancing every day,
Right.
and we're getting to the point where viability may be, and this is exaggeration, but it may be the moment of you know the actual gestation, the very beginning. What
Hmm.
if we can? Because you can take and put a sperm and a and an egg together in a petri dish. When's viability? Just
Good point.
getting it out there. That science has advanced so much that I don't know, you know, what the definition is. So again, look, it's an issue. It's on your plate. It's something you need to be thinking about. If you're, you know, messaging. Make sure that Republicans, you stay on the message that you're doing this to protect life. Keep your messaging the same. Democrats, I think you need to really look at your messaging because it's scary.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. The messaging has to be a little bit more pronounced, nuanced, I believe. Um, Again, it's a privacy issue for me. And I think that abortion is going to drive people to the polls. However, will it drive people to the polls to vote this and meet the 60% threshold to pass? That's up in the air, and we'll be keeping an eye on it.
Well, this is a woman's issue, so for me, what I say about that is it's a woman's issue in the fact that it will drive women, but what their decision is, that we won't know until the day of the election.
Indeed.
I mean, I've never tried to predict my wife, so
I
I'm
try
not going
not
to try to
to.
make a prediction on that.
Right.
But I do believe it's a tough haul. And please like, please share. You can't make this shit up. You're going to be able to smoke dope and and
Oh, no,
terminate
no, 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 no. Cut,
and
cut.
terminate pregnancies on the
Oh.
ballot in November. So
Yeah,
remember,
that's it. That's pretty much it.
they're there.
Yeah.
They're on the ballot.
Yeah.
So um, if I had to have a choice of one or the other, I think I'm going to smoke smoke some pot and close my
All right,
nose.
those are two choices. And also, we get to kill bears, right? That's on
Is
the
that on there
ballot
too?
too.
Okay,
Something like
yeah.
that.
So
Yeah, who knows?
hunting is on there too, right?
All right. All right. Thank
Listen,
you.
vote,
Yes.
vote.
Yes. Yes.
Please subscribe. Please give us your opinion. Hey, make some jokes too, because you can't make this shit up.
You can't.